Hey, welcome to This Commerce Life, an unscripted podcast that focuses on the stories behind small and independent Canadian retail and Canadian CPG.
What we try and do is deliver or pull out the story of our guests and give them to you. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly of retail and CPG in Canada. We're filling a need because we think that retail is hard on the best of days, but it's also a wonderful, wonderful place to grow up and make your living.
We also think that the industry, nor the people that inadvertently find themselves in the industry, really understand the industry at all. They don't really understand what goes on behind the scenes.
So listen to us, Phil and Kenny. We'll unravel it for you. We'll give you the story. We'll give you the story behind the story.
So
you had a good time visiting Mexico, and
it was really good.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. I've been there before, but I really liked it. I liked it a lot, actually.
Yeah,
and
Mexico
then
City is fun with the food scene as well. There's a lot to discover.
The food game is strong. The food game is very strong. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked
Great.
it. Great. We thought what we'd do, because you have a lot of experience with export, and what we've done is we've started to put together a bunch of stuff on export, right? So we've got a warehouse tour with a logistics person down there. We've got a few things going, and then we were talking to different brands about their experience about getting in and things they have to think about. So what we thought we'd do is put you in this one because we love you a lot, and then
I love you too.
And then and then also just yeah, I know, right? But also, because you've got a lot of experience down there, so we thought we'd pick your brain, maybe get a sense of what brands need to know about going down there, and things to watch and consider for. So if you're game for that, we'd kind of just love to pick your brain. And
yes, no problem. I'm happy to do that. Yeah.
Okay. So for the audience, she's back. We had Julie Therrien on not long ago, actually. Your episode's been out like a month ago, right?
Yeah. I listened to it. It was good.
It was very good. We enjoyed it a lot, actually. We actually wonder why you haven't been on before, and then why aren't you on more? So this is
I'll be on more. There's more coming up with Leclerc, and
Okay. So we got Julie Therrien on. I will leave the link to her podcast below. If you haven't heard it, you should. But we, as you just heard us, we brought Julie back because we are looking at Mexico. Kenny and I think the more that we look at Mexico, the more excited we get about the possibilities in market. But we thought we'd talk to people that are in the know, and you're one of them. So one, I guess I wanted, if you don't mind, you covered a little bit in the podcast, but you've got quite a bit of experience, with the Mexican market. So do you mind talking about that a little bit, and then I'm sure we'll get into the rest of it after.
Yeah, for me, I started my export experience in Mexico. So I used to work for a candy manufacturer back in the days. That was back in '96. I worked there for 2 years, and basically I was, exporting products made in Mexico into Canada, the US, and Europe. That gave me the chance to learn the language and learn the culture and understand a little bit more the habits, the consumer habits. Food is really a big thing in Mexico. People gather around food. They spend a lot of time, just a bit like Italians, right? Where it's all about gathering. It's all about food. In the family, and just celebrating. There's always a reason for celebration in Mexico, which is amazing. Like we celebrated Mexico winning last night, right? So it's the same
Any
thing.
reason to
Yeah,
celebrate.
any reason to celebrate. So I think Mexico is really a culture of celebration, and celebrating around food. And so with Leclerc, when I started in 98, sorry, I basically took on a co-packing, because we were co-packing for Bimbo back in the days. So I've looked at different approaches with Mexico. And I feel when we co-pack, it's always a bit tricky because you never know how long it's going to last. It's, basically, it's there until it's not there anymore. Mexican are really strong on brands. And especially when it's a made from the outside, when it's a brand made in a different country, it brings even more value. So they love to buy products that come from abroad because they always look at it as being something different and something of higher quality or a
Right.
high quality. I think Mexico, in a way of manufacturing, they've really upped their games over the past 20 years. There's a lot, like in my field for cookies, there's a lot of like manufacture based in Mexico, but making more local and like affordable cookies, for instance. But they also like to bring in products from outside so that, because they love, for instance, they love cookies. It's a big market for cookies, and also celebrating, like having a cookie and drinking coffee and having a cookie at the same time is a good way to gather and to chat
This is
about
why
it.
we love that culture.
Yeah,
Why we love that, because it's all about the food, and so the two of us were like, yes,
yeah.
yes, yes,
The
yes,
food and also like being with other people,
yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
the connection,
The social
establishing it.
aspect is nice.
Yeah,
They
it's
like to be
very, yeah,
social, or
social
that's what it
aspect. Yeah.
appeared.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, so I mean, private label, there's like always three or at least three different ways of going into a market. You can do co-pack, you can do private label, you can do your brand. For Mexico and Latin America in general, I would say the brand is more the way to go, because that's where like you've got an edge on the others. You're different. And the perception is better than a private label. It's a
Mm.
better quality. It's still not at the same level as Canada, US, or Europe, and that matters. It's more so branded items that makes a difference.
So branded, and then also, in our case, made in Canada. They
Yes.
like external country product.
Yeah.
That's
It's sort
great.
of
'Cause Kenny and
it's
I,
sort of what we
we
saw though,
noticed
no?
that too, but we weren't.
Yeah.
What
We were
did you
just
say?
worried it was just us. Like one thing we did notice, first off, like we were talking about even this morning, and we've talked about numerous times since, is up here, where's it made?
Yeah.
Canada, Canada, Canada. And right now we've doubled down as a country on Canadian, which is awesome. But
Yeah.
we're very much okay buying our own. I think we probably are supporting ourselves better than we ever have, but we've always been pretty good about buying Canadian to some
Hmm.
degree, right? I found from a high level, sort of what you just said, is that I didn't see a lot of, they were much more interested in international brands or brands, like you said, from abroad that had some recognition. So we went into a few places, and like I wouldn't say Walker's is a premium cookie brand. It's a good cookie brand, but down there it was viewed as like a very upscale type of play. Probably again international. Maybe it's got the stamp of the queen on all this stuff, and where the house stuff or the local stuff just didn't seem, Phil, to get um, I don't know, the attention or the audience that
Mhm.
maybe up here or even in the States would do. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's sort of,
Yeah. No, it
like
made
you
in
said,
Mexico.
validated what we saw.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit the reverse. If over there it made in Mexico, I'm not saying they don't support made in Mexico, but they do have huge partnership with the US,
Right.
with Canada, with like
Other
different. Well,
multinationals.
yeah, exactly. And so they want to export. and
Right.
they don't keep it like they do have their brands into like Bimbo is a huge brand, right? Like you talk
Mhm.
about the brand, you don't
Right.
when you're gonna go get some bread at the supermarket, you're gonna go get Bimbo. You're not getting bread, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like yeah. So that's the power of the brand.
Right.
Um, but internal brands, they are well known. People know them. The kids, they grow up with it. They just live with it, and they like, and it's transmitted from generation to generation. But they still like to buy
Right.
like specialty food or specialty cookies from outside. It's important to them. It's and they will privilege this over like especially I would say around the celebrate Christmas, right? It's from September until December, January. It's all like food from outside because they want to throw parties. They want to offer good food. They want something different, special. So that's when you bring it in, and that's where the bulk of the sales are done. It's during that time of the year.
Okay. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's great.
No, I think that's really insightful, right? So one is, as Canadians, you gotta understand that market. So particularly if you're getting into food, and then understanding how they look at those things is important.
Yeah.
What about what about getting in market? So when you're shipping things in, the import process. We heard a lot from the logistics guys around labeling and getting ingredients and things like that done. Um, is your experience with that? Is it a long process or a short process? Like, are there things that you didn't anticipate in the process of that?
It takes a while, but normally the best way to do it is for them to do it for you because they already have their relationship with the different entities that provide the num 051, which
Hmm.
is the labeling num.
Hmm.
It's basically they go there, they have someone that looks through all your ingredients list and translate it into Spanish and make sure that everything that is on there goes according to the Mexican law 051, and then they get a stamp. A lot of times the way you can do it is if you can't label in Canada, you send it to they import it in a bounded warehouse and they basically sticker it in Mexico, which would be cheaper. And then they bring it into their warehouse. Sometimes some of the distributors have areas where they can like bring it in and actually label the product, and they have people on site that does it for them. And it's probably because in Canada it's becoming more and more complicated to label, unless you want to print it already in like in Spanish. But a lot of times at the beginning the volumes won't be there, so it's best that you send it with the Canadian packaging and they label
Right.
it. On top of it, it's a good perception. People see it as being
Made in Canada.
an imported product. So if there's a
Right.
label, it's even
Right.
better. Yeah.
It's sort of what I think we were trying to get validation from someone like you is saying the same as that. I would think like we did learn about the bonded warehouse, and what we
Yeah.
learned is that if you get someone like the guy we talked to, you don't have to use him specifically, but someone like him is if you're not compliant, you can still get it through customs because they know the bonded warehouse will take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you just ship and you don't have a bonded participant
No,
down
no,
there,
you
warehouse,
won't go.
it's
You
going
won't
to
go
get
through.
stuck.
Yeah.
And then you're going
See,
to lose containers because they're going to just rot on the dock or whatever they're going to do, or they're going to go into immersion. Pretty soon, it's not going to be worth taking the container back. It means to give it away.
yeah, no. So you cannot
Yeah.
actually. You need to have the num 051 done on all your products. You need to have someone importing it for you that is and imports it in a bounded warehouse and labels it. And a lot of times the distributors that are importers, they know they have all the structure to do it. So
Right.
you don't want to do that yourself. It's too
No.
much. And then crossing the border, like some transport companies, they do offer product transport door to door. So they pick it up in Canada, they drop it off in Mexico City or wherever
Okay.
your distributor is. But because of the law we have between the three countries, a American or Canadian driver cannot drive in Mexico. So they need to drop off the shipment in Laredo. It goes through the importing process. They unpin it and then they repin it to a Mexican truck with a
Right.
driver that is Mexican. And then off you go, and you drive to
Okay.
Mexico City.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
And
the
is that
other
the
way.
way to do it? Sorry, Phil. Not
If
by
you,
train.
I think train has improved. I've never used it personally, because there used to be a lot of issues with like stealing products and that.
Yeah.
I don't know that this would be my prefer. I would
Okay.
need to maybe give it a try. I've heard stories in the past where I would not have used that. I also used to, whenever we were crossing the border back in the days, I would have my distributor would hire custody to drive along my trailer to make sure nothing would happen.
Right.
But that depends. I have a new distributor now that I'm going to start using, and they don't do that. So it probably depends from one distributor to another. But yeah, it's all things that you want to do. You just want to assess the risk and see if you're new to it, it might be a way to do it, but
Right.
then it's your distributor that would handle that. Yeah.
Okay.
I learned that the other way because I think we kept hearing people say Laredo, 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 and I thought, I know where Laredo is, but what's the significance, right? And then somebody explained that to me too. Is that the drivers are not allowed to do that, right? So they can go Canada, U.S. all day, but Mexican border they cannot cross.
No, they cannot cross. They're not allowed. Yeah.
And that's a huge
Yeah.
crossing, so it makes sense you go through
But
there.
I mean,
and
it's just to
easier.
make sure that like the Mexican drivers don't get taken away their jobs, right? So
Well, it makes total sense. Actually, it's not a bad thing, to be honest with
no.
you. It's fine. You keep the
Yeah.
employment in the country.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And then the other thing I took away from that is if Julie says she's going to try by rail, that is when you get celebration cookies.
Yeah.
You go down there, rail cars are unprotected. Got it.
Yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
There you
can
go.
Steal it. You can steal it. But then you need to
We are
bring it back
not
home.
advocating for this on the podcast, just so we're all
Of
very
course
clear.
But if you want a special deal on celebration cookies,
Oh my God.
No, I'm just joking.
I'm not going with the train anyway, so don't worry.
Exactly. We'll figure it out. So, Julie, because we were trying to wrap our head around it, because it's not like we met 50,000 people. So there's bonded warehouses and things like that would manage logistics, who could also distribute, I'm assuming,
Well, a lot
or
of
just
times,
be a bonded warehouse, like doing 3PL, I guess, or something like that. And then
Yeah.
there's also food distributors like we would have here, like, a Mexican KeHE, a Mexican UNFI, whatever.
So and that's what I'm using. Like I've tried the route of going direct with retailers, and I've tried the route to going with distributors. I find with distributors, your pricing strategy is well handled. Whereas if you start going direct, like Soriana, a lot of times like to go direct, then it creates a little bit of difficulties in the
mess.
market. So the distributor, if like Mexico is a complex market, it's best to have one distributor handling everything. They handle your labeling, they bring it in, they have their contact with the bounded warehouse. They probably have a bounded warehouse area within their own warehouse.
Okay.
So just keep it simple.
Okay.
And then they have the relationship, they have their structure with their
Right.
key account managers, where they go, like it's a bit like in Canada, right? You have Walmart, you have Chedraui, you have Comercial Mexicana, you have then a lot of small, like Southern Casale, other smaller retailers, and they will go to all those accounts. They already
Okay.
cover them. And then in the tourist area, they go to, right, where it's warmer, and you have to be careful if your product is heat sensitive, especially in Mexico. And then if there's any issues, it's easier. It's easier. And the first thing I would say when you go in, make sure that you register your trademark. it's really important. It's not expensive. It takes about 6 months, and then you are safe because you don't want to be stuck where someone steals your trademark. It's not fun. So that's
Okay.
something you really need to do.
And that
You
is
do,
something you really need to think of, eh?
yeah. So it's
Okay.
going to cost you maybe, I don't know, $1,500. It's
Yeah.
not worth cheaping for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to be done. If you're serious about it, maybe year one won't be huge volume,
Right.
but like volume and name builds over time, like in any market.
Yeah.
And it's not worth taking the risk.
Right. Can
That's
I ask you something?
important because that's probably not on everybody's radar.
No, it has
I
to
don't think
be.
it's probably on anybody's radar. You just assume they just
Well,
go. And go.
because you're worried about boxes, right? You're worried about boxes and cases and pallets.
Exactly.
But that's actually quite important. Sorry, Kenny, I cut you off. You had
Okay. Just so, because I want just a little understanding of how it sort of works in terms of that. You listed off all the grocers,
Mhm.
those type of stores. Definitively notice, I don't know how they do it, but department stores are a thing in Mexico.
Yeah. Well, you
Not up
have
here anymore.
no. Well, there's two big
Liverpool
ones, Liverpool, and there's Palacio de Hierro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Sears now has got stores all over the place.
Well, they've had it for a while, but it's not the same prestige as Palacio
Okay.
and
So
yeah.
those
So
two we noticed,
Palacio
the
de
big brands,
Yeah.
international brands were there, and the stores are very busy. So there's that. Is
Yeah.
there a drug channel? Is there like a smaller independent grocer channel? That's what I was trying to figure out, because what we didn't want, what this, just hear me out, because you could correct me all day if you want. So they say Walmart. Well, Walmart is not necessarily Walmart that I have down the street. They have those. They have the super centers, right?
oh yeah,
But then they
yeah,
also have the Express, which is
have the
very different.
Superama.
And it
Yeah,
doesn't
they
feel
have
like a Walmart. It
no.
feels like just a grocer, a normal, small, not monstrous, big
like
freaking
the
American
Express you're talking about.
company. It feels,
Yeah.
oh, this is Walmart. That feel. But so forget those guys. But are there Stongs or Palms? I'm trying to like, how do you like, what's
Well,
there?
there's one called, but it's not like there's one called La Europea, which is like they will sell wine and they will sell like ham and like deli stuff,
Right.
right?
Okay.
It's like, maybe I don't remember how many stores they have, but it's nice to be there because then it's a nice window for the
Right.
brand, like Palacio and Liverpool. They're nice, but they don't bring you volume. It's only
Right.
showing the brand.
Okay.
It's a nice window. People should buy. It's more expensive than at a retailer, right? What is big in Mexico, because we have to understand that the retail landscape in Mexico, supermarket it's not the bulk of the business. It's a percentage of where people go shopping.
Right.
But a lot of people shop in mom and pop stores.
That's what I was trying to understand.
Yeah, so they'll go to the Changaro down the street and they'll buy there, like cookies or whatever, like whatever's missing. It's a
Right.
very small store. It's normally run by a family, and they have some, like, and it's not like a name. There's Oxo, which you've probably
There
heard
can be,
about.
right?
Yeah.
They have 22,000 stores across the country. It's a 7-Eleven type. 7-Eleven is also there. And of course, Oxo started because they were distributing beer, right? That's how it all started. And then they became this convenience store where you can grab coffee, you can grab whatever, right? So we used to make private label for Oxo granola bars there a long time ago. Yeah. And so this is really, it's big volume, but if you have the right product, it's big volume. If you don't, then it's not so much. And so that's another place that is interesting. And the mom and pop store, it's tough to get to. You really need to have a product that is shelf stable and not too sensitive to heat, because it gets thrown in a small van, and like
Right.
it might not be as well ventilated
Right.
as other places. So
And do we assume that price point is
you
a
have
play there?
The price point is like you have to be competitive. It's a very
Okay.
competitive landscape. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
yeah.
it also feels like in those cases you need to have the right distributor, right?
I'm
Because
thinking the same
like
thing.
the mom and pops are
Yeah, it
it's
goes
not like
to
BC, like it's not like in Vancouver you can go to all
no.
these
No,
independents, right?
No,
no.
So,
no.
well,
A lot of time, those little stores, they will. Well, if you're a big vendor like Bimbo or Gamesa, or like you deliver to all those stores,
yeah,
right? You've got
Right.
you've got trucks, and they go with like all
it's
their stuff, and
everywhere.
they just do the milk run, right? If you're like me, it's really difficult. You would some of them go to the El Mercado de Abasto, which is like a market where they get the fruits, vegetables, and some like even Bimbo and Gamesa and all
Like a
the other.
food terminal
Yeah.
almost.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
And that's where they will get the supply. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But I mean, Walmart is it's the biggest in Mexico,
Retailer.
right? It's
Yeah.
got it's the one that has got the biggest market share.
Yeah.
And they do have different format. They have Walmart, they have Superama, and they have Express. Like yeah, they've added a few. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
It just made it interesting.
in
It
terms
changed
of
a lot.
but in terms of specialty, it's Chedraui is up there. It's one of the top one. La Comer and City Market. You've probably been
Yeah.
to those
We
ones that
went to
are
all of
very
them.
upscale. Fresco is another one that
Hmm.
belongs to La Comer, and then Soriana, which is a northern retailer. It's more middle class, right? So yeah,
Okay. Well,
middle to
that's
low. Yeah,
interesting. For
yeah.
you guys, have you found, because one of the things, of course, I get sick when I travel, right? So I end up getting shingles, right?
Oh,
So I know, and
oh,
right up here too, to make it even more fun, right above the eye. Anyway, we're in Guadalajara. We're going to the show.
yeah.
Found a doctor, super nice, super fast. 2-3 blocks from the convention center. Walked down 2-3 more blocks. Found the pharmacy. Can't remember the name of the pharmacy.
Benavides o
Farmacia da Hora.
Farmacia Guadalajara.
Yeah. Da
Farmacia
Hora.
Guadalajara.
Yeah.
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 De Hora. It was one. There's about 2,500 of them or something. They
Yeah.
used to be a generic dispensary, but now they're adding healthier options, whatever you want to call that. They're not really, they're not Canadian Whole Foods healthier options, better for you options, call it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was something that you guys looked at, or again,
Well,
like, are these channels viable? I mean, because I'm talking from a Canadian perspective, like, or are you just basically saying the same thing Phil was going when we were down there, is really you just stay with those grocers, and Walmart is not the fear of Walmart that you have
No.
in North
Well, there's
America.
eight
There's
formats of
formats that
Walmart
make sense
Center.
for you.
yeah, I mean, for me, I've explored other I've explored drugstores. Farmacia Guadalajara is one big one in Jalisco, and then you've
Mhm.
got Benavides as well. And there's like a whole lot of
Yeah.
drugstores, but they tend to they don't have specialty. They don't have imported product that much. It's more local.
Local stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so they do have like a lot of stores, but I don't think it's the
No, fair enough.
place to distribute. Yeah,
Mhm.
not at this point, right? I maybe it's gonna change, but it's been 20 years and it's not really changed that much because
Right.
they're looking at very like a price sensitive. They're very price sensitive, so cheaper product.
Okay.
And
Well, fair
I've
enough.
not seen them exploring imported products yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah,
So
I think just getting I love this, right? Because I think, with us, we got down there and we started kind of taking apart these channels a little bit, but lady, you have experience.
Well, as best we could, because we don't have the experience, but
Yeah.
like even the concept of the bonded warehouse and how to do that. And we were thinking, we asked, I think, numerous times about the distributor, but never seemed to get like just a clean answer. And it could be just because we didn't ask it in a clean way. I don't know. But we were trying to get a better handle on like, how does this game play? Because in our feelings were, it probably wasn't going to be a lot different than Canada, but clearly you're going to have different stores. We get that.
yeah.
But it's, how does this thing actually work? Right?
Yeah, and I mean, you need also the way you put your expiry and lot number is different. it needs to be printed on the packaging. So there's ways around it, but like the NUM is pretty specific about what they want.
But your
So
bonded warehouse or your proper
yeah,
distributor would walk you through this anyway.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay,
they have to, because otherwise they could lose their license, right?
100%.
So
Because it did sound like there was a lot of rules. Like I thought
there's
we
a
had a
lot
lot
of
of rules.
red tape.
Mexicans got a lot of rules too. I
Yeah,
thought it was just
Mexico.
Canada.
Yeah. No. Mexico is more than Canada.
Yeah,
A
they got a
lot
lot
of
of
red
rules.
tape. Yeah, a lot. And everything takes time.
Yeah,
So nothing happens overnight. You need to be patient. This
yeah,
is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And
right.
you need to take it one step at a time. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask, so just what we call things? So a distributor up here, is that the same terminology that you would use in Mexico?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
distributor. Yeah, same
Okay.
thing.
And then
Yeah.
a broker is a broker.
Yeah, but the broker, we don't like it. It's not really a thing over there.
Okay.
It's more you take. There could be. They're trying to do like the U.S., but I don't think it works. It's too complex. You need to have someone that owns the product and that distributes it. So if you have a broker that is only, and I've tried that in the past with Walmart, at the very beginning, where I had the guy was Canadian and he got me into Walmart and he was just a broker, but it's too complex. And then you do that when you want to go directly with retailers. The distributor really owns it, markets it, make sure there's marketing around it. There's also having a demo person at store level is something that they like to have, because that's how people try it more, even more so than here.
Mm.
But that's
So
all still by the distributor.
yeah, well, they
That's
will
like that's
hire
what we've done in
someone.
Canada or the States, and not the systems are better or worse. Is a lot of our distributors here are box movers, and
Yeah.
then we have a broker to help us sell, and then we've
Mm.
got a demo company or merchandising team helps that. It sounds like what they've said is screw this. The distributor buys the product and owns the product in essence. You
Yeah,
do it
but
all.
they
Go
might
sell it for
they
us,
might
demo
hire.
for us.
Yeah, they might hire a demo company, because a
Sure.
lot of them, like,
Yeah.
my previous
For sure.
distributor, they used to have demo people, and then of course they decided to get rid of it because it was too costly,
I
Yeah.
get
and
it.
then they hired, right? But they will
Right.
handle it. You don't want to be here starting
No.
to, like, you're wasting your time. It's you're far away, and
Yeah.
things are complex there. Like they don't move like here. It's not A,
Yeah.
B, C, D. Sometimes you get to C before you go to B, and
Well, then
it's
take a
yeah.
rest.
Yeah.
Well, maybe take a sleep at sea for just a minute. I mean, because at the end of the day, that's going to get done. It's the
Yeah.
urgency that we seem to have in North America that we think the whole world runs under, and the whole world doesn't run under it.
No, it
Some
doesn't.
places it just takes time.
It's not the same speed. It's a
No.
different speed, and it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. And but some people are like, they are fast to market. So it depends on
Okay.
how connected they are.
The
Some,
partners
yeah.
you have. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like, if you have the right partner,
Huh.
Right.
you can go far.
In
So
terms of relationships that you have with people, in the sense that, again, I find that, like, again, Europe can be slow as molasses.
mhm.
In our country, Quebec can sometimes be slow as molasses, but it's also because the cultures are built into really tight relationships. You don't deviate from the people that you meet. Once you're in, you're in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Is that so?
yeah.
Is that similar in Mexico, or is it very much more? I'm going to say like the rest of Canada, not just blanket statements, and the States where it's highly transactional, or is it much more?
No,
They want to
relation.
know you before they commit too much. I don't know who you are.
I think especially with the distributor, yes, they want to know you, but it's also personality driven, right? Some people will be more Americanized, and some people will be like more traditional.
Right.
There's no one size fit all. One size fit all. I think it depends on the individual you're dealing with. I've been, talking to a distributor for a year, and we wanted to go slow, and now we're ready to go, and he's on it. So
Okay.
it's just the process takes time, and you
Right.
just need to respect that, and you can't go faster than the process.
Fair enough.
So,
You're in a different country. You play by
but
different rules.
if you're asking me, do relationship matters? Yes, they do. If you're like, But of course, it depends on how much they want your product. You know,
Like everywhere.
it's like anywhere. I feel there's no we cannot generalize. This is a mistake. We cannot say they're like this and they're all like this. No,
Right.
it's it depends, and things have evolved substantially. People are more aware. They travel a lot. They're it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
We have,
distributors, they know, like, that's what they do to live, right? They import products, so they
They should
know how it
understand the
works.
game.
They know how the market works, and doing it from here is more complex. So
No,
it's
that's
best
good,
to
but it's
have
good
someone,
advice.
yeah, on the floor
we
there.
have heard that a lot. So
Yeah.
quite a few brands we talked to down there said, look, it takes time because you got to build the relationships, and then it's also a slightly different culture because they don't do everything by email. There's a lot of phone calls. There's
Yeah.
a lot of
WhatsApp,
WhatsApp,
a lot of WhatsApp.
That's
a lot of WhatsApp, and
Yeah.
then they said, like, for a long time you think all you're doing is talking, and then it's like boom, let's go, and then
Yeah.
we need stuff, 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
Yesterday.
and then you're in, and then you're gone, right? So we've heard that actually quite a few times. We heard that.
Yes.
But to be
that kind
honest,
of
there are people that
generalization.
will do everything they can to help you.
Yeah.
Everything they can. It's not like it's always, yes, let me help and let's find a solution. And it's,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's really, they give their heart for people. So yeah, that's really, so that's great when you have a very good relationship and you
Yeah.
trust them and they trust you. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
It becomes more like a family.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yeah, and that's what Mexico is about. It's about family, right? It's about being there, like helping each other. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
You
it.
definitely get that vibe.
Yeah,
yes,
you do.
It's
Yeah.
a nice. That's why I do.
it's a
The first time I was in
very
Mexico City.
I would say it's a very inclusive culture, right? They always want people to feel part of.
Involved.
Yeah.
They don't know you, they invite you. Like,
Yeah.
yes, there's no leaving people aside. It's so.
Hmm.
Thank you for doing this. This is
You're very
amazing.
welcome.
You are like
This helps a lot.
you are like a treasure trove of information.
I'm always happy to share.
Amazing.
Good.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good for people to hear that too, and I do think it's a super big opportunity. They got a
Oh,
lot of
I
people in
think
Mexico
so.
City. I think
Yeah.
Canada and Mexico are tighter than ever, and probably going to continue to do that
Yes.
as we deal with our neighbor in the middle. So I think it's like everything. I think it's a good time for them to look up here and for us to look down there.
Yeah, and just make things happen. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
get it done.
Mexico has developed tremendously over the past 20 years. It's not the Mexico I left in 97 when I came back to Canada.
Right.
It's yeah, it's grown
You must
and
see the differences big time, clearly, right? You go back
huge.
and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, Guadalajara, like, it's just a monster now.
What a beautiful city.
What a lovely city.
Yeah. It's very traditional. It's all the
Yeah.
Love it.
tradition: mariachi, tequila.
Love it.
Did you guys go to Tlaquepaque, which is a small, yeah, it's all
We
the
didn't have a lot of
handcrafts.
time.
Yeah.
We were there literally for,
somebody got sick,
and then I got sick.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's
Did you
okay.
I got my vaccine so that I don't get that, or not as
Yeah,
bad. Did you get a
we'll skip
vaccine?
that part. We
Yeah,
should have
okay.
got our vaccine. Idiot. And we've talked about this ad nauseum with us. My mom had shingles, right? We kept talking. She got the vaccine. Get the now. Well, clearly now I'm not going to get the vaccine for the next little bit.
Well, I think you need to wait a couple years. I
year,
got
I
it
thought.
as soon as I could, because I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not
that would
getting
have been
through this.
smarter, but I didn't do that. Idiot.
It's okay. You're almost done now, right? You're done. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, it actually went pretty fast because I got on the meds right away.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a little bit of redness and stuff, but it's
I've never heard about it like being here.
yeah, right here, and then up and around. And then I was
Wow.
worried because there's stuff it
We were
can
worried
get
because
in the eye,
it was around
cause a
your
lot of
eye,
problem.
and yeah. And I
And
was
you-
worried because Emilio might get mad because
That was Phil's fault.
I told him to go to Mexico City, and then he got sick.
Aw.
Well, he also twisted his ankle while he was down there.
Oh,
Oh.
and then I
Oh
ended
my
up with
God.
gout too when I got home. So what the hell, right?
Wow. Yeah, that
Well,
was
things go in threes, right? Isn't that stupid rule?
I think
Things in threes.
you'll never forget that trip. but you could still get some work done, right?
It was awesome. Honestly, for an eye-opening trip to see different things, to see that there's a channel of department stores, which is dead in Canada. I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah.
I thought a lot of the way they merchandise was a lot better than I thought it would be.
Mhm.
Right? And that's a perception, because most of our time's been in Puerto or Playa.
Yeah.
Right? And that's my vision of Mexico, which is still lovely because the people are fabulous in Puerto Vallarta, like fabulous. They're great to Canadians. They're just lovely to be around. The food's awesome. And I found that even in Mexico City, being a city that's a behemoth,
Yeah.
it was still okay. It's just really large.
Oh, it's
Like, holy
huge.
shit,
And you
it's
need,
large.
and then I don't know where you stayed, but if you stayed, did you stay in Polanco or you stayed in
We stayed in
Cal?
WTC, and then but we toured Polanco because that's
Yeah.
where some of the kind of bigger, like, city market there
Yes.
is beautiful
Yeah.
in Polanco, and then
Yeah.
we went to see a Selecto there, and then Palacio de Hierro was
Yeah.
also in Polanco.
And
And
there's
that's where
a
we
big
saw the
one.
Walmart Express and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, for me, Mexico City, like it's a very cool city. It grows on you.
yeah.
When I lived in Guadalajara, I was like, oh my God, I was kind of scared. And now it's like I've been so many times since then,
Yeah.
and I just love it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
well, and then we got a chance, like, so we came back after Guadalajara, and we stayed in the city, and we stayed in Roma Norte, and
Yeah.
it's like a totally different, from
La Roma, yeah.
WTC and then Polanco and then Roma Norte, and it's like totally different, right? Like, it's fabulous.
It's interesting
Yeah.
though. It's an interesting city. Like, it's just the traffic. Oh, mamma
Oh,
mia. I
yeah,
don't know
the
about these
traffic is
people.
just, the traffic
It's
is crazy.
ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. The traffic is crazy.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
definitely. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
mental. And how
I
many trucks
remember
are there?
the first time I went there for a meeting, that was I think in 97, 96. And I drive, like I take the first flight from Guadalajara into Mexico City, and then I get in a cab, and then we're stuck in traffic, but everybody's going that way and my cab is like going the other way. And I'm like what's going on? Like, it's just like it wasn't moving. It was like crazy. And it was like opposite side of the traffic. I'm like, how are we going to get there? But they always, figure
They
it
seem
out.
to get away, but the amount of trucks,
Yes.
like, you're thinking, holy shit. But then you remember too, like, within that area, you got pretty near the
30,
population
30
of
plus
our
people,
country
yeah.
in that freaking city.
Yeah.
Like, it's
And
just
there's
stupid.
it's 30 million people.
Somewhere
And
in there.
yeah,
It's ridiculous.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very lively and vibrant, and
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty
Fantastic.
yeah,
cool.
when you're in the right areas, it's great. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we didn't go to the wrong
Well
areas.
said.
Yeah.
Well said, actually. Well said.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Awesome.
thank you
Very
for
good.
doing this.
Thank you
I
for
You're
doing
very
it.
welcome.
Yeah.
Very welcome.
Yeah.
If you
And
need
then
anything else, please,
we
go
will, but
ahead.
and then you're going to come back on later.
Yeah. When because we have some big launches coming up. So
Okay. All right.
So
Well,
once,
if you need
once I know
testers,
more.
that you need to sample, we're here
Yes.
for you.
We'll volunteer.
Sounds
like,
good.
Just for you.
I'll keep you posted. I will keep you posted. It's coming. It's coming.
good.
So
Okay.
great.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julie.
Thank you.
Have a nice
Have a
afternoon.
great,
Thanks for
yeah,
doing
you
this.
too. Have a great
Okay.
end of your week. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
That was great.
It's interesting. It sort of validated some things and actually just shone a different light on other things, which is it's pretty cool, right? Pretty cool.
It's kind of it's what we need. And then I think if you're here still and you're listening to this, is do your homework, right? So you're watching us do homework, and we're doing it in real time. And so some things that we have been sharing are on, according to Julie, and then some of the things that we've been sharing are not so on, right?
They're not so on, or they're just not quite
or
there.
that we haven't quite got the angle on them yet, right? And
Right.
so you're gonna need to keep doing research. There's a wonderful group, in the embassy in Mexico, like Canadians in the embassy in Mexico, who are also doing a lot of this work. So you need to get connected with those folks as well, so that you can do the work properly and get the right questions answered. There is, I think, a set of things coming out from EDC as well, if I've got the acronym right. export development
Export
Canada.
development,
So we'll
Canada.
try and make sure that we get those out as well.
Yeah.
But you know, part of all of this export stuff is we're downloading what we find so that you can digest it and you can go out and
Right.
figure it out. But you know, like AI, we can make mistakes. So just make sure that you're trusting but verifying what we say, that you're out doing your homework, that you're connecting to the right people, so that
Or if you do notice something
gonna
that's
learn.
gone sideways from what we said, then let us know. Like us
Oh
know
yeah,
it.
yeah. Ping us back.
Yep.
Like if we're dead off on something, or
And say something.
there's a different angle to look at some of these things. Like
Yeah.
even Julie, keep in mind that she works for a cookie company, right? So she's got a very
On a large one too, by the way. So
correct, a large one, but also cookies, right? So we asked about pharmacies and that's not her wheelhouse of places. So that doesn't mean that what she's saying is wrong, just that she's got a different angle she's looking at things as well. So you just gotta, all of this is learning,
Filter.
learning, right? So yeah. All right.
And definitely trust but verify. All good.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody.